Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Donoron podcast. We are beginning a new series, or we may be able to knock it out in one. We'll see. I am Beau.
I am Don.
And today we're talking about Megaman Legends.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Megaman Legends, it's a game near and dear to every good, God-fearing PS1 owner's heart.
Yeah, it's one of those games that when I talk about this a lot. I made the jump from SNES to N64 very late, and only after I realized it was only at Cody's birthday party that I realized N64 and PlayStation 1 were already there. So it was like the Nintendo era, like where you put on a virtual helmet and it's just like the real life. And if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Right.
I didn't realize that 3D could happen.
No, before we go any further, I do want to thank our sponsor, longtime supporter of the show. I do want to thank Ashley Loyan K. Follow her on Twitter at the Minnesota Nurse. That's all one word, all lowercase. Check her out for some cool content. But jumping right back into it. Thank you, Ashley.
Yep.
Jumping right back into it.
We're
just excited to talk about this. I'm sorry.
I was a huge Mega Man fan when I was growing up. So seeing Mega Man in 3D was huge. But there's a little interesting thing. Mega Man Legends, who is Mega Man Volnut?
So who is he? I think this is the most human Mega Man we've gotten.
Yeah, it is. He is emphatically human.
Is he actually human, or is he still a cyborg?
Okay, so
is he still a super fighting robot?
So timeline-wise, you have Mega Man, the original Mega Man from Mega Man Classic. Dr. Light builds him. He fights Wily, and then you jump from 20XX to 2XXX. At which point, Dr. Light realizes that he's never going to realize his dream of peace between humans and robots within his lifetime, so he builds X, Mega Man X, sends him into the future, where he winds up in the future, and then from him, you have Reploids, who are very human-like in their thought process, and you have the Sigma heresy.
Guys, that is one of our older podcasts that I think holds up incredibly well.
Yeah.
Please listen to the Mega Man X, the Sigma Heresy.
Sigma and 8 renegade Primarchs betray humanity. And the hope and dreams of humanity die with that betrayal. But X fights to the very end, and at the end of X8, X realizes that it's not just Sigma. Sigma isn't just the problem. There's no Sigma virus to eradicate. It's just the fact that Reploids have become so human-like that some of them are going to make the conscious decision to become nationalist, fascist assholes. And there's nothing you can do about that but fight them. He's never going to realize his pacifist dream. So you go into the Zero series, which is even farther into the future, where Earth is a desolate wasteland, and a character named Zero is found by a human scientist who resurrects him and says, okay, Mega Man X has gone insane with power. He has built 8 Primarchs that are parts of his will. And then it turns out that this X was in fact a copy built. Someone tried to resurrect X because X sits eternal on his throne.
On his golden throne.
On his golden throne, holding back the forces of chaos in this world. And then the setting goes crazy with some dude thinking he can kill X and gain the power that he was holding back. But then that power escapes, and then Zero fights the power. Fight the power.
By the way, we're not making that many reaches with the 40K analogies.
Yeah.
We're not reaching that far to make these happen.
So X dies, Zero dies, and humanity is reduced to one civilized part of the Earth. 9,000 years later, in a world covered by endless water.
Is it actually in the same timeline?
It's in the same timeline.
That's
it's just
canon.
Very, very. This is Earth. This is the Earth that Mega Man and Mega Man X lived in, and this is the Legends. The only thing left of Mega Man and Mega Man X are Legends, hence the name.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, in a world covered in endless water,
you find a little colorful fish-like ship floating towards a tower.
But it's flying.
It's flying.
Note that it's flying. It is water, but it's floating towards a tower. And
a guy who looks a lot like Mega Man.
A lot, but he ain't wearing a helmet.
Yeah, he's
because
just
this is the 90s.
Yeah, you gotta have your girlfriend, your sister. Sorry, this was my first anime.
Well,
this was my first anime.
The girlfriend sister dynamic is
stepsister.
it's a bit deliciously
Look,
anime skewed in this game.
Real men go for Tron, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, anyway, you are going after a refractor.
Because this is your job. You go into ruins and you find things.
A digger. You're
A
Indiana
digger.
Jones.
Yep.
But you're instead of Indiana Jones looking for holy relics for the sake of putting them in a museum, you need these to power your cars because coal has failed you. You need refractors.
Please, don't let this world be covered by endless water. End coal power now.
You put the refractor in something, spin it around, it generates energy. So this is something that the ancients would always use.
Mm-hmm.
Like energy crystals, like those little things Mega Man would always pick up, to be honest.
Right.
Anyway, you pick. So your job is to find these things, and that's how you make your money. It's also how you power your ship.
Mm-hmm.
And you find it, and a giant Reaver bot starts chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
And you fight it, and it keeps coming back. And then it's cornered you at the top of the tower. And looks like Mega Man looks behind him, looks back at the Reaver bot, jumps off, looks seemingly to his death, and then he rises up on the flutter with your sister roll gasket spinning a literal ship wheel with a monkey in a diaper on a shelf somewhere. And it's just like a triumphant...
An old man that's half robot.
An old man with...
yes.
Mega Man!
So, by the way, this was when games started having full voice acting.
Yes.
But it wasn't good yet. So
it wasn't good because it was great. So yeah, that's your introduction. This is Mega Man you're playing with, and he has a family.
A family that adopted him.
Yes, adopted being the operative word. Because Gramps, that's all you'll ever... He looks like Dr. Light.
Barrel.
Yeah,
His name's Barrel.
He's just... Barrel.
Yep.
Barrel Gasket.
Yep.
I forgot.
But he seems a lot like Dr. Light. He's a whiz bang on the on mechanics. His granddaughter.
Roll is his granddaughter.
Yep.
Her parents went missing on a dig.
Yep.
That's not going to come up in this game, but it will in the next. So yeah, he found you while he was a digger. This is something humans always do, which is weird because Mega Man has a gun arm, of course, but so do a lot of other humans. A lot of humans in this world tend to attach metal pieces to themselves, and the technology works seamlessly.
Yes.
It's a very common thing. Like Barrel has the metal face. So presumably he also has a gun arm attachment that he can use.
We don't see anything on roll. We don't see anything on roll.
She's just really good with the wrench.
And Mega Man, now here's the thing. It's implied that Mega Man grew up.
Yes. Apparently he was the age, a similar age to Roll at the time.
Right.
Maybe a little bit younger because Roll insisted on naming him after her favorite television character.
Right.
Mega Man.
Mega Man. So Mega Man. The voice acting's just
so you just pulled off a great job. You're going home, and then your engine conks out. And there's only one island in range, and you make a crash landing on a place called Cadillac's Island.
Mm-hmm.
And now 5-0 comes out to investigate the crash.
Yep.
Police, a really stereotypical guy in a trench coat with a mustache.
He looks exactly like the Jet Set Radio cop.
And he's actually a cool cop. Like, he's like, hey.
Unlike the Jet Set
looks
Radio
like you
cop.
guys had fun on that drive. Mind if I investigate every part of your life to find... like, Gramps, don't let him into my room. But he's like, hey, you guys okay? Yeah, we're sorry about that tree we took out. Oh, that's fine. We're just glad you're okay. And then Graham says, look, I'm going to go. I've actually been here before. I'm going to go talk to the mayor.
He's old friends with the mayor.
Yeah. Since we don't have passes into the city, you're just going to have to stay out here. And
you go to the market.
You can go into the market.
Yep.
That's about as far as you can go, though.
I always went in and sampled the CDs.
Yeah.
So this game, the place where this game really shines is it's one of the first examples of environment becoming so important in games like this. You go and sample CDs in the store. You go and talk to the people in the junk shop. There's a clothing. You could walk into all these places, and eventually side quests will pop up. But for now, you're just sort of world building. You're just sort of exploring.
Well, there's some dirty magazines on this wreck.
Better not look.
There's so many people around.
There's so many. I think one shelf makes him say like, "But what if Roll walked up right now?"
You can kick the can for money.
Yep.
You can kick it behind the bakery, which is where they belong, for more money, or you can put it in the trash can for a pittance. But you can get one of the first quests I think is the mechanic shop, where it's just the wife.
Yep.
And she's like, "Hey, my husband is out on a dig."
Yep. And you can only go so far into because one thing that's really cool about Mega Man Legends is, and this comes into play in lore as well as gameplay. Every dungeon is connected.
Yes.
Every dungeon is connected. Now, they make this work by certain doors will only open with certain diggers' passes. But thankfully, there's a certain level of these dungeons that is accessible to everyone on the island, so Mega Man could go save this woman's poor husband.
Yeah, there's also fallen cave walls that you need to break through with certain equipment.
Right.
It's all connected. You can see where the map is eventually going to go.
Yep.
But you find this guy and he's being harassed by some Reaver bots, and you help him.
Not her, harassed.
Him, yeah.
Not her. It's funny because they'll try to actually kill Mega Man, but they realize that this man can't fight back, so they're just going to have a little bit of fun. They're not murderers, Don.
Yeah.
A fair fight's the only fight they want to win. Would I be a trophy you were proud of?
So you bring him back to his wife, and he's like, "Oh, we're so glad. I didn't catch your name, by the way." And the correct answer is hippopotamus.
When they have a child, by the way, they name it hippopotamus.
Yes.
If you say hippopotamus,
I will name
or
my
they'll
child
Mega Man. So always pick hippopotamus is what we're telling you. By now, Gramps is done chatting with the mayor, and you are allowed in the central part of the city.
Oh, hell yeah!
And the central part of the city has a really depressing hospital quest.
Yes, it does.
You could buy soda pop.
Yeah, you can also kick the can for free soda pop, but that makes you black skinned.
What? I don't remember this.
Okay, if you commit criminal acts, you get darker in skin tone.
No,
you become Black Mega Man.
Oh, that's horrible.
I don't think they carried that over for the second one, but I do remember.
Oh man!
There's even a book about light and dark side, where if you're committing good acts, make you light.
That's terrible. Capcom, guys.
You know that means you just need to put Mega Man Legends 3 out and fix that.
Give us
it's time for redemption.
We need Mega Man HD, Mega Man Legends HD, and dear God, take that out of the game. That's horrible.
If you steal the money from the serve bots at a certain point, it gets you immediately as far black as you can get. As far as full, it looks you look cool. I'm not gonna lie, dark armor Mega Man is cool, but then you get past 4th grade. And there's some connotations.
There's some terrible
with associating criminal activity with the.
This. Oh man.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail like that.
No, that I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because again, I always choose good options.
You always choose good
games.
options, but yeah.
Capcom, please do something about that. You can't have that in your game. That's horrible.
Yeah. And one of the ways you can become light again is by giving money to a hospital that needs it, because there's this one girl.
Yeah, this is the depressed. Yeah,
in a wheelchair. Now the cynical me, okay, this hospital needs money, and they keep showing you this girl who has an anime disease. An ill-defined anime disease that confines her to a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. And, after the 5th time I give money for some expensive piece of equipment, I'm thinking, is this girl sick, or is this some kind of scheme for is the hospital administrator? Dude, we need an ICU. Tell that girl he needs an ICU. I need an ICU. I need a luxury Prius.
This sounds like some pandemic to me, Don. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like this place needs UHC. But yeah,
there is a main quest in this game.
You need to go talk to the mayor.
You go talk to the mayor. Beryl introduces her as an old friend. She hooks you up with a digger pass.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure you're just given the opportunity to work off fixing the ship.
You need to make money. You need to make that money.
You start going, and eventually
you run across a girl who is screaming, "Whoa, it's a dog!" And then she climbs a lamppost, and there's this little terrier, Boston Terrier, barking up, just yipping at her, and you scare the dog away, and she gets down and does the anime. She goes full tsundere immediately.
It's not like I needed your help, Baka.
What? Like she's blushing every time she sees Mega Man from that point on.
Yep.
Now, admit it. Now, I have a thing. I have a problem with dogs. I don't like dogs. I have a very instinctive rejection of a dog that wants my attention because it's going to touch me, and I don't like that. So, if I were up a lamppost and a girl scared off a dog for me, I would probably have the same fixation as
Right.
Tron Bond.
Like
I would start building giant robots to fight her and then be okay with losing.
so we are introduced to Tron.
Tron Bond.
Tron Bond. And she is very happy that Mega Man came along, but she makes it very clear shortly thereafter that no, she's not.
Yes. Shortly thereafter, you're doing quests for a role, basically. You're getting parts,
Yep.
And then you see an airship, several airships fly overhead into the city, and you see explosions.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, Mega Man's got the gun arm. He's going to lend a hand.
And he's been finding all these cool parts to make better gun arms because Data will help you do that.
Yeah, Data, your little monkey friend.
Yep,
Where's the
Data
diaper?
saves your game.
He was always dancing.
Yep, I loved it. Just but Data saves your game. Data also helps you make better gun arms,
Yep.
which Roll assists with that as well.
Yep.
So
you rush into danger. You rush into the danger zone, and you fight off the pirates. But as you're walking in, you see Tron again, and she's giving a morale-raising speech
to the Servobots.
To the Servbots, and they're little Lego guys. And they're the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Miss Tron.
Now you better do. All right, now you need to guard this key to the central city so that no one can come rescue everyone until we're done with them. Roger.
And they immediately bumble something. Like they start dropping the key or something.
Like every time they hand it off to each other, and like there's three of them, and the robots you eventually get the key, and when you blow them up, like the robots will pop out and just run around. They're helpless.
Yeah.
But you can shoot them for health, but that just leaves them smoking and sad.
It's like Wicket. Not Wicket, but the Ewok dying.
Yeah.
In Return of the Jedi. It's just universally sad.
It's just like, how can you do that to a Servbot?
Right.
But you get the key and you go deeper into...
you fight Tron in the central city.
Oh, yeah, you do. She comes out like the Servbots, Miss Tron, we're so sorry.
Yeah.
We lost the key.
And so
we wait till we get back. You're in a lot of trouble. Oh no!
It's a fun boss fight.
It is.
Her. It's a really fun. So
she destroys a lot of real estate pretty fast if you don't do it well.
Which you will be responsible for rebuilding if you want to get all these cool quests later. So you go to the north of the city into the administrative district.
Yes.
Which is the district that sucks the most. It's really boring. Because there's the central, there's Marketplace, Central, Old Town, Administrative, and what's that other one?
The Old City.
No, that's Old Town.
Old Town, yeah. Oh,
there's one because the other one, I think it's the Business District.
Oh yeah,
cool
I think that's where the hospital is and the game show and all that.
Right.
Anyway,
Anyway, you go to the north of the city for now. You go to the administrative district.
You find another member of the Bond family, Baby Bond, who has a pacifier that doubles as a party favor. And he's just floating around in a giant robot buddy, which asks a lot of questions because he is emphatically described as a baby and a member of the Bond family. But he's just a giant floating face with arms, and okay, are these humans?
Right.
Or are they? I know they fit seamlessly with technology, but what? Okay, whatever.
Right.
You defeat Baby Bond, and he's just a little sad baby head, and then Servbots come and airlift him to safety.
It's literally just a head, and he's got the anime swirly eyes because he's been knocked out. And so, do we get introduced to Teasel in this fight?
Yes, not in the fight, but after you save the world, the television crew watch the blue bomber save the world, and Teasel's like, he's just off in a library. He's like, he's such a fancy man. He's got some nice room. He's got
He
a billiard
does.
table, and he's like, he looks at a clock. Whoa! Look at the time. It's almost time for my favorite show. I almost missed it. Today's top story: pirates thwarted by mysterious blue man.
And then he
it's
does
just-
a spit take, doesn't he?
It's just
Oh, yeah.
a jaw drop. It's just jaw hanging open. And then he's like, he can't believe they did that to Tron and Baby Bon. And you see a portrait of Teasel, Tron, and Baby Bon with their parents. We don't know what happened to their parents, but presumably they're dead.
Right.
But they are a family. They are the Bonds.
Yep.
And that is the name of their awesome track. We are the Bonds.
Yep. So
He is saying, okay, if we want the mother lode, we're just going to have to try again.
And so this is where we introduce to the mother lode, which they believe is on Cadillacs Island.
And that is exactly what the mayor says to you and Gramps. Like, that's probably what the pirates are after. So now you have your motivation. You need to find this treasure before the pirates do. Here's the thing, though. The mayor also talks about a legend where every 100 years, everyone on this island dies.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I wouldn't put much stock in it. It's not like we have records.
I love how every other JRPG in the world, it's like 10,000 or 1,000. No, Cadillacs Island,
this is
100
just
years.
every 100 years.
Like, literally just this side of living memory.
But anyway, yeah, you first encounter, like the first record you find of the Bonds going at, they're trying to get the key from the mayor. That's what they were trying to do. But she says, okay, they're going now there's this guy in a giant digging robot trying to literally burrow his way because he can't get through the door. Mm-hmm. He's going to burrow his way underneath it, which is a good idea. But it turns out that this gate he was trying to access is really deep, really, really deep. And he's like, well, maybe we do need that key after all. And then you see a Servbot shows up to announce that the Megaman is coming. I'll show that pipsqueak.
So this is the boss fight at the dig site.
Yeah,
Now what
with
I love
Teasel.
what I love about the dig site is it truly it shows what strip mining, what coal does to our world,
And achieves nothing.
But another thing is, I believe it's the strip mine when the ship is parked at the strip mine.
Yeah,
I believe that's when you get the little Easter egg of walking into Roll's room.
yeah.
And all that happens is he walks in and it's just showing Megaman's face and she goes, Megaman, not first. And he goes, whoops. And he walks back out. And it's just like,
And then the inappropriate.
right. The inappropriate. He goes like, yeah, like, so
Saw my stepsister naked.
Capcom, when we get the HD remake of this, maybe this is why we haven't gotten Mega Man Legends 3, because Capcom's just like, bury it.
We're not going to forget because there's still some diamonds in the rough, Beerman.
But Capcom knows that cancel culture is like just
Yeah.
sitting on Twitter, just ready. Which
That should be an invitation to improve, to be honest. But, yeah.
it should be an invitation to improve. But please fix the black skin thing. My God, that's bad. That's really bad.
I can't believe I remember that, but it's just one of those things that clicked with me, and I like. Once you make that mental connection, it's like Disco Elysium. It's not a thought you can just cancel out.
Right?
Internalize the thought. Why do I become darker when I do evil things? Oh, yeah, the European cultural hegemony. And
Oh my God. So anyway, you beat up Teasel,
and
on the
he
dig
just
site.
he explodes. Like you beat him up, he explodes. He's okay though. He's just smoking. He's
Right.
just like sitting there with his like impact crater hairstyle, and he's like, I can't believe it. I can't. What happened? I had such a cool robot, and then like a Servbot's like Teasel, and then he like, and then another one who's just all business. He's like pushing him onto a
He's
platform.
guiding the platform.
Yeah.
Bring
All right,
him
bring it up,
boys,
bring it
him up.
And then you see the Gessel shaft, a giant fish battleship.
Yep.
And then as soon as Teasel is on that thing, he's back on the bullhorn. Just you wait. Oh, you're mine, Blue Boy. I'll get you.
And then you, who have a pass, can go into this gate.
Yes.
And the mother lode's not there.
It's just a nice refractor.
Yep, but you're getting closer to it.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
You've got more information. And I think it's one of those things where you get a boss fight from a Reaver bot because you take the Indiana Jones treasure.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the thing. You get more refractors, and I think you actually need this refractor for you don't really need it for anything, but you can use it to power something big. Now, it turns out the pirates are back. They are looking into a gate that is in the middle of a lake or ocean or a harbor or bay or something.
It's a lake.
Yeah. And you need a boat to get to them. Well, it turns out
Your boat won't work.
It turns out this guy, the guy who looks a lot like Dr. Wily, kind of, but it's
Right.
more of a fun thing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I've got a boat, but it needs a refractor. Hell!
And Roll fixed it up for him, and he has kind of a moment where
Yeah.
you look like you're very handy with a machine, and then he jokes about Mega Man dating Roll. They're like, ew, gross.
I do like that guy because he's gruff, but then he grows on, like he learns to respect Roll.
Yeah.
I like that Roll does stay intact because while you're marching your way to the Teasel fight, she's running support in the that car that abandoned car she's fixed up.
Yep.
Which is that's why
That becomes your mobile base.
Yeah.
You could upgrade your
And
weapon.
then she rams her way through a gate, which is pretty cool.
They crashed the gate doing 98. I said,
Yeah.
let them truckers roll 10-4.
Which will kill you if you stand in front of it, of course. But yeah. Oh, and before we go into the boss fight with the frog boat, which is cool.
Right.
There's a side quest. There's a few side quests maybe, but like there's one side quest where you meet some area youths, and they want to build a clubhouse, and you keep finding equipment for them, and over the course of the game, you build a clubhouse together, and it's just this really
nice.
cool thing. It's just like, hey, we're out here building we've got a clubhouse, and you're part of the club now. You're part of our gang. You can you find a woman who is painting. And like she'll ask you, like, this painting needs something, and there's two options you can like. It needs some red. It needs some talent. I love that you can say, yeah. What do you think I should add? Some talent.
Why don't you get someone that knows what the hell they're doing on this?
Quest rejected. Okay, back to the frog robot. I'm sorry.
The frog you actually fight on the lake.
Yeah,
Right,
you're on the boat. You're circle strafing it.
Yep.
But it's impossible to defeat it while it can maneuver. But you eventually get it into a little islet or inlet, and it's bogged down. At which point you circle strafe it until it explodes. At which point the Bond family are like, in utter disbelief as the serve bots come in the reins, like, yeah, our engines are completely offline. Flooding. We have flooding in the engine room. We have to evacuate. And then they just do that Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Right. So now you have access to the lake dungeon.
Yep, and you find another big refractor.
Still not the one you're looking for.
Yep.
But it's a whopper.
And you're getting closer to that mother lode.
Yep.
And you have, I think this is the part where you have to go to, this might be the part where you have to go back to that one place he was, it's another gate. It's up on a tower.
Yeah.
And then you find yet another refractor, of course. But as you're leaving that one, and you have, like, you also gain information on where the mother lode is. It's, you have the plans, you know where to find it on the main island. And as you're leaving it, the Bonds come back for one big hurrah with the Gessel shaft.
Yep.
You found the main gate for them, and now they don't need you anymore. So you're on the Flutter, which has been fixed at this point with that refractor you found. And you have, like, one of my favorite parts of 90s gaming, that air battle.
Oh, yep.
You don't have weapons, you have you, and you're just on top of the Flutter.
Yep.
With the Serbots and their little kamikaze fighter jets. While Teasel Bond just taunts you from his battleship.
Right.
That little ship's faster than she looks. Launch the drots.
So you fight off the Gessel shaft.
Yeah. What kind of firepower are they packing on that little ship? They're trying to lose us in the clouds. After them.
Teasel's a very this guy took some theater in high school.
All port cannons, prepare to fire. Fire. I love this game so much.
I do too. This is a great game.
You shoot down the Gessel shaft, and as it explodes, it drifts into the clouds and explodes. So you don't see the explosion. And Mega Man's concerned because he doesn't hate the bonds; they're cool.
Right.
But and then out of the clouds and the explosion, you see a pterodactyl robot fly up, and it cuts to the Tron is at the helm, and she's like having conflicted thoughts about Mega Man because she thinks he's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Teasel's
There's something about him.
Yeah,
I like talking to him. He makes me feel better
Te-
about myself.
Teasel, there's something about him. I feel weird when I'm thinking about him. Like, and Teasel's like holding his shoulder. They still managed to get me. It's up to you, Tron. Get him. Leave it to me, Teasel. They've gone too far this time.
And you beat
Yeah,
the pterodactyl robot.
Yeah, if you have the active, not the grenade launcher, if you get a good spread of the grenade launcher, it's a one-hit kill on this thing.
Really?
But it's
pretty hard to do.
It's really hard to do, and it's a really hard boss fight. If you're
really is.
Yeah, but after you shoot him down, you have the part where Tron says, "I'm sorry, Teasel, I lost," and then Teasel's just resigned to it, and it's actually really sad. Like, yep. Look, sometimes your best just isn't good enough. It's not your fault. And then, like, they spiral out of control. You hear baby Bonds go, bah, and it explodes, at which point both Roll and Mega Man are sad because they think they've just committed triple homicide. But then you go to explore where you know the main gate access to be, and there's certain points you have to explore. One of them is an old town. Mm-hmm. And then you, while Mega Man is exploring, there's a bunch of dogs you need to avoid or kick. But you find someone there. Tron is just walking through an alleyway, and she sees you, and she blushes, and then she gets mad.
I love it.
And then you hear someone else, Teasel, and he's like, Tron, you better hurry
up, or there'll be no pizza left.
And he pops his head from behind
a
wall.
Full mouth of pizza.
What? You? I love that moment with Mega Man where he freaks Tron out. He grabs her by the shoulder. You're alive. That's awesome.
Right, because Mega Man's so happy they're alive.
And then she blushes to the 10,000th degree.
Right, because
she just can't handle physical contact.
It's like Wayne's
not
World.
Like I like you, Baka.
It's like Wayne's World every time he sees Cassandra at the beginning of the movie. Dreamweaver.
See, this is the kind of anime I like where, these two like each other so they blush and get awkward. It's not like where Master Roshi, everyone is Master Roshi draw. Like, okay, there's still some innocence to this that I like.
I feel the same way. With Roshi, it's funny
because
it hadn't been done to death yet
by
the time Roshi. But it's sort of a family friendly Shinji and Asuka almost.
Because Teasel says, "Look, you wait, Blue Boy. We've got one more trick up our sleeve. It's time to activate Bruno." And he runs off to operate the giant machine. Instead of stopping them, Mega Man just talks with Tron. So, like, what's going on with you? And she's like, "Hey, you're not going to get one over this. This robot is my masterpiece." And she's like, she's back to her proud and haughty self, but you can tell she's just trying to impress you,
right?
While trying to murder you.
But she seems confident in her trying because she knows it'll never work.
Yeah.
Because,
and you like
you beat that dog.
Yeah. You scared the dog away from her. So this robot rampages around Old Town, which you can also choose to repair for some goddamn reason.
I never waste money on Old Town.
No one lives there.
It's literally a bunch of storage containers. Look, Everart's got the money to fix his own storage container.
Look,
the guy's corrupt as a son of a bitch.
There's an old power plant that's obsolete, and no one wants to reinvest in this district. I don't know why I should. Anyway, you defeat Bruno. And the same thing happens. All the bonds are still okay. They're just smoky and coughing. Like, I can't. It's a good thing we escaped that incredibly complex machine that exploded violently. I've got dirt on my face.
It's like they've got Daffy Duck immunity.
And then Teasel approaches Mega Man and says, "Okay, boy, I must know. What's your name? Megaman. Megaman Walnut. Megaman, is it? You remind me of myself. Maybe I should give up the pirate game. It feels good to say that. My heart feels as clear as a blue sky on a cloudless day. See you around, Mega Man. Mega Man's like, wait, guys, we're on talking terms now.
Right.
And then Tron says, well, does this mean I'll never see him again? And then Teasel's like, Tron, once he finds the treasure, we'll wait for our chance and take it from him. What?
He's literally Emperor Pilaf from Dragon Ball.
You didn't think I was just going to walk away, did you? Of course not. That's the Teasel I know. Boo! The Bonds. I love them.
I love them. They're excellent. They're very. I never made the connection though. They're very Emperor Pilaf-like villains.
Yeah, so they're not going to fight you anymore. They're just going to wait for you to find the treasure.
Which would have been the smartest idea from the get-go.
Yeah. So you find your way into the main gate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you ever had this problem, but there's a part where Teasel talks about the main gate and his audio clip messes up. So he just says, the main gate, 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 the main gate for 5 minutes. And then the game resumes. Anyway, you do in fact find the main gate. And, it's very pristine, very ominous sounding music. No one's been digging here. Mm-hmm. No one else has had access, but now you've found all these parts. And Mega Man...
I believe you can go through here and retroactively connect it back to everywhere else, too.
Yeah.
Because literally everything is connected. It's one of the coolest things about the game.
Yeah.
It's just one big dungeon.
And Mega Man can, barely make out writing on the walls. It's really cool. Like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe the writing is really old and he's having trouble remembering it, but he finds it weird that he can make out the writing, which is interesting. And as you go in, you find a control room. And remember that legend about once every 100 years, everyone on the island, all life on this island is purged. Mm-hmm. You find someone else in a giant robot body with a human face
and arms that kind of float independently.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah,
and she. Or he, I guess. I can't remember.
It's pretty androgynous. I think it's safe
gender
to say
neutral.
genderless. Yeah.
Megaman Juno, the administrator for Cadillacs Island. And you have inadvertently activated this Megaman Juno. But Megaman Juno recognizes you as a Megaman Purifier class. Megaman doesn't know this. Megaman Walnut doesn't know this. He's like, what?
Right.
What are you talking about? And then Mega Man Geno spouts off about a bunch of protocol. Look, it's been too long since we've purged this island. These carbons are overpopulating. We need to set our policies and procedures in place for this.
It's very much like the...
we need to reinitialize the carbon program.
The whole thing plays out a lot like when Chief meets Guilty Spark.
Yep.
Like, it has a lot of parallels to that.
Yep, and Mega Man is... I love that he's just some kid. So he's trying to piece this together through the bureaucratic
nonsense.
Yeah, like reinitialize. You're going to kill everyone on the island. Yes, it's my job. That's my job. I'm just a bureaucrat.
Just like Guilty Spark. Yeah.
Yep. That's the plan. You can't let we need to manage the life cycle of the carbons, which is their word for humans, or at least what we call humans in the setting. Mega Man, of course, says no, and a trap springs, which holds him in place, shocking him, and says, and Mega Man Geno says, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna take you back for repairs. We're gonna fix you, find out what's wrong with you.
Right.
And after Mega Man Geno leaves, you see the Bond family. Like Tron, Teasel, and then Baby Bond doing the Scooby-Doo, looking like, did you hear that, Teasel? You bet I did. I think Mega Man Juno is going to kill everyone on the island. We've got to do something. Dude, do you really think we could beat him? What about Mega Man? I don't like it. I can't think of anything better.
That's pretty close to the actual dialogue, by the way.
Yeah.
So they free him.
Yeah.
And of course,
Teasel's got like, oh, this is a problem. Hey, Tron, how do you stop this thing? And she kicks it.
and she, of course, is distraught seeing Mega Man in pain.
Yeah, she's actually really supportive. Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And then Teasel's like, come on, hurry up. He's getting away.
Even though you've just been spending like 10 straight minutes being electrocuted.
Yeah. I love that. I just love that. The bonds saved the day for you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Of
Mega
course.
Man's back in action.
Yep. And on the there's another thing here. There's a huge refractor, biggest thing possible. It's right there in that room. You don't have time to think about it.
Nope.
You gotta save the world.
lives.
But you know the bonds are there.
Yep.
just remind them that they probably saw that too.
You're right.
So you go to confront Mega Man Juno.
On the surface, I think.
I think it's just in a big control room.
Oh, that's right. That's
And Eden has activated. And Eden was activated as soon as Mega Man Geno entered the room, and it cannot be deactivated so long as Mega Man Geno is in charge.
Mm-hmm.
You cut to outdoor view, and something is descending from space and shadowing over Cadillacs Island. And all the characters and friends you've made along the way are looking up at their impending doom, which sets the stakes right before Mega Man decides to challenge Mega Man Juno, at which point you fight Mega Man Juno in what was really hard for me, always.
An extremely hard boss fight, yes.
Like, it plays like fugue and G minor. It's really... And then it speeds up for the second phase of the boss fight.
It's very hard. You're not alone there. It's very difficult.
But yeah, eventually you do defeat Mega Man Juno, and there is like a pipe going right through him.
Oh, I remember
It's like really brutal.
It's very brutal.
But
for
Mega Man
game.
Juno's really chill about it. Like, I guess it was too much for me to ask a bureaucrat like myself to fight a purifier like you. But it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to upload to Eden, and then I'm going to resume the and then I'm going to resume the countdown on this impending apocalypse.
Mega Man kind of has a little panic attack here.
Because there's nothing Mega Man
you
can think to do.
'Cause
Eden's system's ready.
Yeah.
Awaiting confirmation.
Right.
And then, like, right at that moment, Data shows up and starts the same techno-babble that Mega Man Juno was spouting, but invoking the authority of Mega Man Trigger, a purifier class who retired Mega Man Juno on suspicion of malfunction, which gets the computer system to stop the reinitialization program because it was authorized by a malfunctioning Mega Man unit. Data, what?
Yeah,
You were just my save function.
you were the cutesy little side character.
I'm your memory storage device. Once upon a time, you uploaded your memories to me for safekeeping. I can't tell you anything yet. But soon, you'll remember everything. Who you are, why you lost your memory. And then you get on the radio and you hear Gramps like, Mega Man, some crazy shit's been going down up here.
Because you've been on radio silence this
Yeah.
whole time.
And then you go back up and you have your big anime goodbye with everyone on Cadillacs Island. You go around, visit everyone. It's like, okay, we got our ship fixed. We saved the world. Now it's time for us to resume our adventures on the high skies above the seas. And Gramps is like having like, goodbye, Miss Mayor. We'll always have Vegas.
We'll always have catalogs.
Those serve bots that started their own hamburger restaurant, they're doing all right now. They've broken free. Those you've rebuilt the city. That painter has her painting in the museum. That girl is walking.
Yep.
The
Almost as
administrator,
though there was nothing wrong with her from the get-go.
like the administrator says, "I'm sorry, but we've got all the things we really need, so we don't need your services anymore." Like, hey, I can walk. Thanks to your ICU, I can walk. Yeah, thanks to your respirator shipment, I can walk. Anyway, yeah, so like everyone gathers at the launch site. You get on the flutter and take off to a grand adventure. And then Mega Man and Roll are like, it was really sad. And we made a lot of good friends here. This is a really fun game, Roll. Like, well, maybe we can come back here and see them again. And then, like, you hear, like, something outside. Like, you're in the air, and you hear, like, cheering. Mega Man goes over to the window, and everyone's waving. Like, hi, everybody! And then, like, Roll says, okay, time for new course. Here we go. And you fly. Swings it hard.
Yeah.
And realistically crashes right back into Cadillacs. But what actually happens is you fly off into the sunset, and then I don't know if the credits happen first, but I love the credit sequence because it just does voice clips from the game, which is mostly Serbots, so it's great. Roger! Miss Tron looks happy. Come on, hurry up. He's getting away. There's not going to be any pizza left.
Is there an after credits thing? I can't remember.
Yes. You see a boat sailing slowly towards the sunset with a crane holding that giant refractor that you saw in the mother lode. And in the cockpit, Teasel's like, Tron, can't this thing go any faster? And she's like, I'm sorry, I had to put this together out of the parts of everything Mega Man blew up. Well, that's okay. Once we get back to land, we'll sell this thing and we'll make back what we lost, and then some. We'll live like kings. And then Tron says, well, that's assuming we get to land without sinking, but at least he's happy. And then it cuts. The last thing you see is the boat sailing off into the sunset, and you see Baby Bon on a life preserver just like cruising on the river.
Tubing. He's tubing,
He's just
baby.
tubing. Saying babu, babu, babu. And then the screen goes, like, circles in on him and goes black.
So clearly the most artistic work Capcom has put out.
Yep. Very fun. Very, very fun.
No, honestly, it is an insanely fun game. The story's cutesy and everything. I think if they just went back and retooled a few of those more problematic
a little bit,
elements,
little bit.
if they just take out Mega Man sneaking a peek at his naked 14-year-old stepsister
and fist pumping afterwards,
and making it to where perhaps they weren't associating evil acts with a certain skin pigment, which is horribly shitty and problematic. If they would redo those and come out with an HD remake, I think it would sell like hotcakes. I think I would buy it in a heartbit.
I don't buy games all that much, and I'd buy it.
Charge me $60 for it. I'll do it.
Yep.
I'll do it. The few things we didn't talk about. The music in the game's awesome. The music's fantastic.
God,
Capcom almost never disappoints on music. A few little Easter eggs I think are neat is in the business district where the museum is. You could go to Capcom headquarters.
Oh, yeah.
They're currently working on Resident Evil 3.
The game shows.
The game shows. You could be on game shows. The weapons upgrades are awesome. My personal favorite is the homing missile.
The Active Buster, I think it's called, maybe?
Yeah. The homing missile's awesome. The skates.
Yes.
Yep, the skates. Skates are pretty badass.
Ramp off buildings. It's open world. This is not like it's beautiful. It's one of my first open world games.
Yeah, and it's an awesome one at that.
It was my first GTA technically because there's that car chase with the Serbots.
Yeah.
And I kept getting hit by cars and you activate you can customize your Buster. Do you like small heavy shots or faster shots so you have more chance of hitting?
Yep. It's a very one thing is there's not a build. It's not like there's a correct build and an incorrect build. There's several that you could really tool Mega Man to your playstyle. You can give him a helmet.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you almost have to wear the helmet because it helps with knockdown.
Yeah.
But I hate putting the helmet on because Volnet just looks really cool without it. You want to do Mega Man Legends 2 next?
I absolutely would.
This? I've actually never played Mega Man Legends 2.
It's been a while for me, but it's very fun. It builds like there is one. I think there is one other part where it's kind of like catching roll, but it's not like that. It's unintentional on Mega Man's part. You fight Tron, and she emerges unscathed from her exploding robot. Sans her clothes. Her clothes did not survive. So it's Mega Man and her Servbots just like blushing while Tron yells at Mega Man how next time Next time, it's not going to go down this way. And one of her serve bots says your clothes are gone because they burned away in the explosion. At which point, one of the serve bots will mail you a letter saying, hey, something happened on that island, and Tron won't talk about it. I would very much appreciate any insight so that we can make her feel better.
So there's a lot of things that are dubious about the character of Mega Man in this game, and that is he
human?
Exactly. Because
what is human?
He obviously the questions that began in Blade Runner are answered in Mega Man Legends.
The last time in the series we saw Reploids, they were becoming so human-like. The distinction was almost academic.
Right.
And now it's 9,000 years in the future, and the only humans we see are emphatically called carbons by the robots.
Right.
We don't those questions will be answered in Mega Man Legends 2.
I've never had the pleasure of playing Mega Man Legends 2, so I can't wait.
It gets you go to different islands. It's open world. You go to islands, and there's a mailing system. So throughout the game, you can go back to a mailbox and get letters from people you encounter. Serve bots. Tron sometimes, I think, maybe.
So join us next time when we're talking about Mega Man Legends 2. Guys, I know this is much more lighthearted than our past two, but we really felt the need to do something lighthearted.
We need to do light because we just did a 13-part series on Xenogears.
And then went into a six-part series on Disco Elysium. Both of those are really heavy games.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have a little fun.
This is a lot. We skipped over a lot in the game, but that's the point. We just want to talk.
We just wanted to talk. We just wanted to hang out with you guys. So, guys, if you like this, like, share, and subscribe. Keep that pumping. Absolutely, we're growing because of your help. There's links to our Patreon, which we work today on some really awesome Patreon exclusive content. Please don't miss out on that. Join us there. And Discord. Discord's really popping. We're adding new members every day. We're having a lot of fun. A lot of really cool discussions there. Honestly. And we do have a merch booth still. Come check it out, bros. And last but not least, please give other people a listen to on the Rally Networks, our brothers and sisters in arms here in the war against boring podcasts. So, guys, until next time, I'm Beau.
I am Doug.
And we'll leave the light on for you.